Yo, what is up, y'all? In this video, I am here with Jackal Goldkick and Bobby J. Johnson, and we're going to be talking about parents blaming violent video games. Now, originally it was supposed to be me and Jackal Goldkick, but Bobby J. Johnson actually commented it on my video, and he asked me if he wanted to join me and Jackal Goldkick, and I'm like, you know what? Why not? I asked Jackal Goldkick about this, and he agrees. So the rest is history. Now, it's not the first time I collaborated with Jackal Goldkick because many people know me and Jackal Goldkick. Many people know me and Jackal Goldkick. We talked about a chocolate duckling situation when people kind of calling it racist. Like, if you got a chance, I don't know if this video is still up there, but if it was, I'm gonna put it in my description box below, and y'all can check it out before watching this video or after this video if you want. It's up to you. But anyways, let's get this crap started, shall we?
What's up YouTube, it's Jackal Goldkick, and I'm here with RILEYDTV, and we're going to be doing a collaboration video talking about this topic of parents blaming violence on video games. So we're going to be doing it on RILEYDTV's channel. Shout out to RILEYDTV for the collaboration idea, and thanks to him for wanting to do another collab. We did one before, and this is going to be our other collab, so thanks to him for this idea. It's a pretty good idea. And let's get started with this collaboration video. So yeah, me and RILEYDTV are going to be talking about parents blaming violence on video games, and this is what we're going to be discussing. And it's a really good topic, so let's do this from me and him. So when it comes to parents blaming violence on video games, I think it's stupid. Because first of all, when it comes to parents, it's their job to monitor their kids and what goes in and out of their head and all that stuff. It's the parents' job to monitor their kids and raise them. I mean, they bring them into this world, so it's their job to monitor them and raise them and show them the ins and outs of the world and what to do and not to do and all that stuff. It's the job of a parent to monitor their kids. It's not the job of these game developers, you know? So that's the first reason this is stupid, is because it's the job of the parents to monitor the kids. It's their responsibility to watch over these kids and monitor them and to mold them into what kind of person they want to be, because they brought them here in the first place. So it's their duty to do this, you know? That's the first reason this is stupid. And another reason that this is stupid is because video games have nothing to do with what goes on in the real world and have nothing to do with what goes on with violence or any of these school shootings for that matter. It didn't matter if video games were ever created or if they never were created. There was always going to be violence in this world and bad things happening, because some people, depending on the circumstances, they're always just going to do bad things, you know? And whether video games existed or not wasn't going to stop that from happening. So another reason why it's stupid for parents to blame violence on video games is because video games have nothing to do with the violence that goes on in the real world. It's just fake. It's just video games. That's all it is. It's not reality. It's not real life. It's just video games. It is not a real thing, and it has no effect on what goes on in the real world, you know? So that's another reason why it's stupid, you know? It has no effect on it. I've grown up playing crazy games and nothing's ever happened to me, you know? It does not have any effect on the violence in the real world. And it also doesn't really get to the root of the problem to just blame violence on video games. Like parents blaming violence on video games, that doesn't get to the root of the problem. That doesn't solve anything. That doesn't solve anything. It just feels like a scapegoat. And another reason why it's stupid for parents to blame violence on video games is it's not the job of the video game developers to watch what they put out there or make, and just to make sure it doesn't affect anybody or maybe cause violence or affect your kids or whatever the case may be. It's not their job to do that. You know, they don't have to. It's not their job at all. They make video games. This is something they make. They like to make video games. They like to make this art and put it out there for people. It's their job to make video games. This is what they do. It's not their job to monitor the kids, and it's not their job to, you know, monitor people or look after them and stuff. No, they just make video games. They make entertainment, and that's all it is. They have no effect on the violence in the real world. They have no effect on anybody's kids. They just make video games, and video games are not real. You know, it's not their job to monitor kids. It's the parents' jobs to monitor the kids and what goes in their head and what doesn't go in their head and what they're taught and what they're not taught. It's the parents' job to do that. They brought them into this world. It's the parents' job to do that. It's not the video game developer's job. You know, video game developers make certain games that might affect a kid or whatever the case may be in connection to like a video game or a kid or a video game and any other person. If there is somehow any connection between the two, it still wouldn't be the fault of the video game developer, because the video game developers, another thing is that makes this stupid, is video game developers put warnings on video game cases. There is a fucking ratings board on these video game cases. There's a T rating, there's an M rating, and there's an E rating. E rating is for all. You know, it's for kids, but it could be for all. T rating is for teens, and then M rating is for adults. I remember when I was younger, when I went to GameStop, I almost couldn't get a few games because they were rated M and I was, you know, too young. But nothing ever happened to me. We were able to clear it out. But that's something that happened, you know. They made the ratings board for a reason. It's not like they just slap out a video game with no ratings board and it's just a numbers game where, oh, I didn't know that this video game is violent. It literally tells you on the game case. And if you do the research, the parents that blame violence on video games, the people that want to, you know, have that stupid ass video game stigma of blaming video games for everything, if you do research, the whole reason the ratings board was even created in the first place was ironically because of stuff like this. There was stuff going on back in the day of like, you know, certain video games were controversial for things they did. You know, I can't remember all the details, but this was kind of why ratings board were created. This is why they created the ratings board years ago, to make sure that people could know what kind of video game this is and what kind of video game is that. So that's another reason why it's stupid for parents to blame violence on video games. It's not the job of other people or video game developers to monitor your kids or to watch what they put out video game wise. They have no control over who buys their games or who plays their games. They have no control over it. They don't have any control over people that buy their games or play their games. Same as your kids. They don't have, video game developers don't have any control over your kids buying their games or playing their games or whatever the case may be. They don't have any control over that. They make games, they put them out, it's just entertainment. That's all it is. That's all it is. Entertainment versus reality. It's fake and reality is reality, and video games are video games. As long as you can make that, you know, difference there, then stuff should be a-okay, you know. And I think parents should stop blaming violence on video games because it's stupid and it's a dumb scapegoat, because it's not really getting to the root of the problem. Because like I said, the reason it's stupid for parents to blame violence on video games is, number one, it's the parents' job to monitor their kids and to look after their kids. That's what their job is. They brought them into this world. And number two, there's a ratings board for a reason, to tell you what kind of game it is. So it's not like you're not knowing what you're getting. Number three, it's not the job of video game developers to monitor your kids or to watch what they put out, or it could somehow be their fault if something were to happen violence-wise or whatever. It's not their fault. They put a video game out there. They can control who plays their games or what kids play their games. That's another reason why it's stupid. And everything else I mentioned in this collaboration video with RILEYDTV. So yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about this. I think it's stupid that parents blame violence on video games. It's stupid in my opinion. It really is, because it's like, you know, the violence in the real world is caused from other stuff. You know, school shootings I think are caused from bullying, you know, and then violence could be other reasons, you know. It's nothing to do with video games. And I'm just sick and tired of video games getting the blame for stuff and being scapegoated for a lot of things, because I just think it's stupid. It doesn't get to the root of the problem. You know, there's a ratings board for a reason. Video game developers can't control who plays their games. They can't control the kids that buy or play their games. And it's not their job to monitor the kids, and they're just making video games. That's all they're doing. It's not reality. And they have no effect on the real world, any of that violent shit going on. It's other reasons and other things we should get to rather than video games being the scapegoat for this. And parents should monitor their kids. They should look over them. And they should know what kind of video game they're buying or what kind of video game the kid's buying when there's a goddamn ratings board on there in the first place. So that's really all I got to say about it. Peace. And shout out to RILEYDTV for this collaboration. Let me be on his channel again. This was pretty cool. And that's all I got to say about this.
What's up, guys? My name is Bobby J. Johnson, and today I'm going to do a rant on people, specifically parents who blame violence on video games. We will talk about that in thorough detail very time soon, don't you worry. Okay, so here are my thoughts on why I think blaming video games for violence has got to be the most overused, outdated, and generally distorted and moronic claim ever made for an attempt to try to stop violence, as if it's ever going to help the cause when it doesn't. This shit has been pushing on to society, especially during the 80s, 90s, and you could argue the 2000s. Until the 2010s, when we all finally got our heads out of our asses and realized that we've been lied to with the bullshit that they for years ran their mouths about, like blah blah blah. When did a creator of a certain game tell everybody that they intended to make these games to tell you to shoot schools or kill people or worship the devil or shit like that? I don't know. After playing Mario Kart and SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, all of a sudden I have the urge to shoot my dad and stab a classmate in school or bomb a church. That's like claiming Hot Wheels causes car crashes, 13 Reasons Why and Dear Evan Hansen caused a rise in teen suicide rates, metal and pop music causes Satanism, and dildos are the main cause for the sexual assault of women. And those claims come from a vintage version of cancel culture that consists of middle-aged adults, typically parents, politicians, and teachers, the majority of which are unsurprisingly conservative or Christian. I'm a spiritual person myself, and I just get constantly annoyed by those Bible-munching nutcases who blame everybody and everything but themselves. They can't face the fact that bad parenting passes the toxic behavior over to a child. The violent person himself is to blame for the choices that he makes and not whatever piece of media he's hooked onto. And that those issues happened way before that those movies or whatever TV shows even existed. Like every time a school shooting or violence occurs, video games are the first to blame. I just wish that people would stop jumping to conclusions when they don't even know the full story and actually done something to stop the violence instead of just whining about a piece of media that have never had anything to do with the typical problem itself, as if the creators intended to make the video game to make people just do some stupid shit. This argument is not working anymore. It's getting old, so please just stop with this bullshit. Before I end this video, I would like to give a special shout out to Jackal and RILEYDTV, who gave me the opportunity to be in this collab. I would like to say thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be in this collab with you both. It has been a pleasure for me to speak my mind on the things with you, to bring some of my points on what I think about this topic that you were talking about. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you later.
Yeah, we all agree that parents blaming violent video games over a situation which involves shooting, stabbing, terrorist attack is the most stupidest thing ever. The reason why I bring up this topic to Jackal to make a collaboration video is because of the whole Oxford situation. Y'all know what happened, the shooting in Oxford High School. And the reason why I brought this up is because I found out that the media is blaming violent video games for this, and that makes me want to make a video. Well, collab video with Jackal originally, but Bobby J. Johnson decided to join the party. And it's not just Oxford when it comes to violent video games being blamed, but also Columbine, and even 9/11, mostly Jack Thompson and his freaking annoying ass. Like every freaking time there's a mass shooting or a terrorist attack, violent video games is the first thing they come up, which is ridiculous because even when video games in general doesn't exist, there'll still be violence either way. It's not just parents blaming violent video games, well, mostly soccer moms, of course, but also the media. It's like they're trying to claim that the violent video games itself is the spawn of Satan, is a freaking a virus that corrupted children's mind. Not to mention, people think that video game is a child thing, which is not true. It can be for kids, it can be for teens and adults. And it's not just violent video games getting blamed when it comes to mass shooting and other terrible things, but music is also being blamed as well. Mostly heavy metal and gangster rap music, which I will get to eventually in a different video, probably when I have the time. And either way, all these topics that I mentioned, but either that, it's just for freaking entertainment value. It's not trying to tell people, especially kids, that it's okay to shoot other people. No, because they know that killing people is wrong. Like, it's obviously is the wrong thing to do. Like, I played Dynasty Warriors, 007, first-person shooter, and GTA as a kid. Does that make me want to be violent in real life? Heck no, because as a kid, I know that video games is not real. Like, really though. And also, the people who develop these games have no control for your kids. I mean, they're not responsible for your kids. It's the parents' responsibility. It's y'all fault for even buying these freaking violent video games that is not appropriate for your kids. That is why we have a freaking rating system, for crying out loud. Rated E 10 and up, rated teen, rated M, etc. So don't blame the developers for your kids. Blame yourselves. It's your responsibility to take care of your kids when it comes to, I don't know, TV shows and even video games, of course. Like, all you need to do is read the freaking rating system and see if it's good for your children. It's not that freaking hard, people. Gee, man. You would think that this stupid bullcrap would end, but it's not going to end. It's going to go on and on in the future. If it happens, don't be surprised. But anyways, I had to stop right there. Shout out to Jackal Goldkick and Bobby J. Johnson for the collaboration. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know what y'all think. And yeah, I will see you guys later. This is Riley D. Peace!